Hey everyone, Cody here, and today we're going to see if we can pull off a decent abstract painting with a squeegee. So I've got red, black, and white, one of my favorite color schemes, and I've got my rubber squeegee here. So we're going to see if we can pull off a decent scrape painting like that. So first off, we're just going to start with a little bit of paint on the paper here, and we're going to kind of pull it out as much as we can, really kind of stretch it out thin. And what we want to do is basically stretch it until it dries out so that it doesn't mix with the next color going on. So we're going to pull this out really as thin as we can and just kind of go over it a few times. So going over it a few times will kind of dry it out. So, and there's a little bit on the squeegee here, so I'm just going to put it on there and pull that out and kind of dry it. And then same thing for up here. I'll just pull this down and we'll pull it across right here. And I know you guys probably can't see the white too well, but it is kind of spreading out here. And I've got some more on the squeegee. So again, I'm going to pull that out and just kind of stretch it so that it dries out. I'll wipe this off. All right, so I think we're pretty good here. Kind of wipe that off too and move on to our next color. So next we'll move into red, and we'll just put a small amount right there and right there. And we'll see what we can do with that small amount. And again, I'm going to pull it down and just kind of stretch it and then pull it out and see how far we can get it to go that way. All right, next, same thing. And pull that out. And I feel like we could probably do a little bit more red up here. So let's go ahead and put just a small amount up there. And we'll kind of bring it down and kind of do maybe a square right there. So kind of like having these little square edges, not all the time, but the square edges kind of gives it like almost like a beginning and an end. I do kind of like that. So I'm actually going to move that paint that's on here down here so we don't waste it, and we'll pull that out. Maybe we can kind of square up this a little bit. All right. So now we'll move into our black paint, and we've got a couple of gaps like right in this area, right up here, right here, and then right here where there's no paint. So we'll probably put it like right there, and then like right there, and right there. And that was actually quite a bit more than I intended. So I might actually kind of move some of that down. I'll just move it up here. So we'll start right here and pull this down, and that's going to give us a nice solid square. And we'll just kind of pull it out a little bit. But again, I kind of like this the square look, so we'll kind of leave it right there. Pull this out and down, and we'll kind of leave that right there, I think. And we do have some more on the squeegee, so I think maybe I'll do it right there just to kind of fill in some of these gaps where there isn't any paint. And maybe square that up. All right, we'll kind of come up here, bring that across, make a nice solid square. You know what this looks like, and I don't know if maybe it doesn't look like it to you, but this kind of reminds me of the trash polka, the style of tattoo where it's like usually like black and red, white, and black, or red, white, and blue, or blue, white, and black. Just these very kind of very dark color tones. That's kind of what this painting is kind of reminding me of. All right, so we've got these kind of solid squares here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pick up some of this paint. So I'm really going to kind of push into it and just pull the paint around and kind of stretch these out so they kind of have these little streak designs to kind of fill in some of the gaps here. And kind of move some of that up so it's not so just clean, I guess. So it almost has like a distorted look. And I think we have a little bit of paint on there, so let's just go ahead and put it up here. And I think I'm going to kind of tie these together. Looks like I got a little extra paint over here. I'll pick that up and kind of pull that aside. And that's it. So I'm going to call that good. I'm going to put my squeegee in some water here. All right. And so we'll go ahead and I'm not going to add any more to the painting. Here's why. I could do like white on top and add another layer of white. However, the white is usually kind of translucent. I mean, white, that's kind of the property of white, right? It's kind of translucent. So what would happen is if I put white on top, it would actually, you would just be able to see through it. And it might give us a decent effect, but most likely it's not. I've tried it before. So then the only other thing you can do is kind of apply a lot of white to make it really thick, but then you kind of get into this thing of, then you just have these huge blocks of white. And it just doesn't tie in very well. So white looks fine on the back, like in the background, but on top it actually doesn't do very well. So that's why we're not going to do that. And then if I did red, we might be able to get the red to kind of pop a little bit more, but I honestly kind of like the way that it is. It is a little kind of dark heavy, but overall I don't think that's too bad. I actually kind of like it. It is kind of heavy, but it does have the red and the white. The red and the white kind of balance the black, I think, together. So the black is overpowering, obviously. But as far as balance goes, I don't think it's too bad. It is a little unbalanced, yes. But as far as the look of the painting, I'm not disappointed with it. So we're just going to finish peeling this tape off. All right. Yeah, I actually kind of like it. So let me show you guys the final piece here. And there it is. So overall, I would say success. Like I said, it is a little unbalanced. There's a little more black than white. I think, if we had overlapped a little bit of the red over there, or maybe not pulled out this corner as far. So maybe if I had kind of connected these two corners and did like a small, almost like an L or something, it still might have been too much simply because we have this really huge square. Now this actually is because, remember when I put the black on, I said that it was too much. That is why. So that's kind of what happened, was I just used too much paint. It was unintentional, but it is what it is. It happens. But overall, again, I kind of like it. It's very, very dark, yes, but it overall isn't, too much to look at. So overall, I would say it is a success. I think we kind of did a pretty decent job here. And I was just going to kind of show you some of the, the effects. So as the paint dries and you're pulling it, you kind of get these like, these little scrape effects. So, it kind of adds to it, because if not, it would just be a very like blocky painting, which, you know, you could go for that effect. But what I like about the scrape and kind of keeping it square, but then kind of pulling out you know, whatever little paint is left when it's drying, it gives it this distortion, which I feel like really gives the painting the character. So I actually would have liked to have seen a little bit more up here. So overall, I'd say success, and that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, let me know. If you didn't, that's cool, let me know. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, God bless, and I'll see you then. Bye, guys.